There's nothing better than for somebody to tell me I can't do it. Because if somebody says I can't, I'll go, I'll show you I can.
Oh, Dad! Dad! Don't you fucking get me with them!
Just absolute chaos from start to finish. We just enjoyed doing it. We were young and we were getting paid to get wrecked and have a laugh with your mates.
What's the matter? You got a boner?
I had fun with him. he was a good laugh. I've given out that I'm this kind of flamboyant character. It's just an act. I'm not really that kind of person. The most stupidest thing I did, which was off camera, I just remember locking myself in a hotel room and I had a massive bag of cocaine and I was just shoving it down my neck. I didn't care. Yeah. It was horrible. I saw myself go downhill and I did something about it. From going on stage shoving drumsticks up my ass and smashing bottles at my head to now going on stage and cooking food and doing the Deca, the endorphins and everything, the feel-good factor I get off doing stuff like that is just outweighs everything else. Set yourself a goal, do it, and honestly, just see how mentally and physically better you're going to feel out of it. When I went back for more, I never looked back.
The world is changing. Inspiration is everywhere. It has never been so easy to connect, share, and bring people together. We're learning from others and finding the best in ourselves. Challenging our beliefs. Sharing our vulnerability. Overcoming our fears. Transforming ourselves so we can transform the world. How far can we go?
This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is... You might know Matthew Pritchard from the guy from Dirty Sanchez, that show back in the 90s on MTV where they would just do crazy stuff, hurt themselves, just wreak havoc on the world. But Matthew has now evolved into an endurance athlete, and he's just completed a Deca, which is 10 Ironmen in 10 days. He swam for 24 miles, he cycled for 1,120 miles, and then he ran for 262 miles. This guy's 46 years old, and he did it all on a plant-based diet. He's got a new book out called Dirty Vegan. He's got a cooking show on BBC, and I really love Matthew. He is this strange Welshman. He is this quiet, introverted guy who can also get on stage and stick things up his bum if he needs to. And I know you're going to enjoy this incredible conversation with Matthew Pritchard. This is London Real. I'm Brian Rose. My guest today is Matthew Pritchard, the Welsh professional skateboarder, endurance racer, entrepreneur, and chef who achieved worldwide fame on the MTV show Dirty Sanchez, touring the globe, performing daredevil stunts, and creating havoc. You've since transformed your lifestyle completely, channeling your energy into fitness and nutrition. You've completed in several Ironman races, and last month you completed the Continuous Deca, as in 10 Ironmans, which involved a 24-mile swim, 1,120-mile bike ride, and a 262-mile run. This year, you're back on screen with your BBC television show, Dirty Vegan, going back to your roots as a chef to promote the benefits of a plant-based diet. Matthew, welcome back to London Real.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much. Good to be back.
It's been 4 years, right?
4 years already.
Yeah, since all that happened. First of all, I love your shirt, man. It's from your brand, Sleep When You're Dead.
Yeah.
And what does it say on the back? There's a dictionary definition of...
Endurance.
Endurance.
For those for whom drink and drugs no longer work. That's pretty true, I think.
Is it pretty true?
Well, yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
I think you're onto something.
Drinking and drugs don't work anymore, so.
So you have to go into the endurance.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Good, I want to talk about that a little bit because I had some experience with a half Ironman last year and a crazy guy named John Joseph. We'll get into that. First of all, what's it like coming to London? Do you like coming to this city?
because you're from Wales, and maybe you can tell the whole world what's the difference between England and Wales, because a lot of people don't get it.
Well, when I say to some Americans, they say, "Where are you from?" And I say, "I'm from Wales." "Oh, London, right?" And I was like, "No, Wales, different country." But I love London. It's great. I mean, I couldn't live here. It's a bit too chaotic for me. I've got to that age now where I have my peace and quiet, and London to me is chaotic. But I like coming in, seeing a few things, doing what I need to do, and then get out. Okay. So yeah. And I mean, I've been coming to London for years. So.
And how would you describe Wales for people who've never been to the UK?
Wales is absolutely beautiful. It's green, it's mountainous. I mean, I was saying to you earlier how lucky I am to live in Cardiff, in South Wales, because I've got the city on my doorstep. So I've got restaurants and bars and clubs and stuff. And literally 45 minutes from my house, I've got the Brecon Beacons, so I can go up into the mountains with my dog. And then just about half an hour west, I've got some of the best beaches. So go surfing, go swimming in the sea. I've just got everything on my doorstep. And when it comes to training for Ironman and stuff, I've got all the hills, I've got everything. So I really am lucky living in South Wales. And the whole of Wales is just a lovely place.
Wow. You know, I've never been to Wales since I've lived here for 17 years, and that's a crime. I should be shot for that. But I'm going in 2 weeks. I'm going camping up in Snowdonia.
Whoa, Snowdonia is amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm going with my buddy Timothy Sheaf, who's been on the show a bunch of times. And he's taking me out. We're going like seriously hardcore, like in sleeping bags and tents and all that stuff. So,
are you going to climb Snowdon?
I don't know. I hope so.
It's the highest point in Wales.
Does it take a while?
I'd say if you went Llanberis route, it's a 9 mile.
Okay.
Up and down. But it's beautiful.
Okay.
If it's a clear day, you can just see from miles.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
And there's a good lake at the bottom called Llyn Pata. Really nice lake to swim in. Freezing, but it's good.
Let's talk about your endurance stuff, because last time you were here, I don't think you'd done an Ironman yet. I don't think in 15.
I did. My first Ironman was 2011.
Okay, all right, but you weren't as hardcore into it now as you are.
Yeah, I did the one in 2011 in Bolton, and I did another one in Bolton 2012, and I just slowly started building up. And I think since I seen you last time, I actually did 30 half Ironman in 30 days.
Yeah, I saw you do that.
Yeah, so I started with anything I do, where I start and then I get really addicted and get into it. And I just keep pushing it further and further and further and see how far I can take it.
Let's talk about this addiction. So the back of your shirt says it's for people who drink and drugs no longer works. What is the correlation between this? Because I've met a bunch of people who do Ironman. Rich Roll, you know, the vegan who did the ultras, he had a whole history with alcoholism. John Joseph had a great couple years on crack cocaine in New York City, right? Got off that and got into this. You know, lots of people I met when I did my half Ironman last year were kind of recovering. I'm recovering as well from my old days of heroin in the past. Like, why is this a progression, you think, for people?
It's really quite interesting, because I spoke to the people at the event that I've just done, and there was a few of them in the same boat as well. And it just seems like these people with addictive personalities, and especially drugs and stuff, I think you just know you just can't keep doing that drug thing and the alcohol thing, because it's going to be curtains. It's going to be game over. So you sort of try and find another way of getting your buzz, and it's just strange how we all seem to find this journey of either ultra marathons or ultra triathlons and stuff. And for me, I just sick and tired of. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy a drink, but I just didn't like. I'm just done with it. It doesn't take me to a nice place. It doesn't make me happy. It takes me days to recover. It's not productive. It ruins everything that I have. All these plans that I've got in my head, they all go on hold for like a week until I recover after a big blast. But to go cycling, swimming, running, the endorphins and everything, the feel-good factor that I get off doing stuff like that it just outweighs everything else. And it makes me happy.
I think Keith Richards said in his autobiography, he said, "I didn't quit drugs, drugs quit me." It was an interesting way, like, or he said maybe I didn't quit cocaine, cocaine quit me, as if the drug was almost sick and tired of him coming back. It was just like, I'm tired of you. It was that bad, you know?
Yeah, you get, I found when I was doing cocaine and you end up, you do a load and then you sort of go into yourself and then you can't, I've done so much that I can't speak and get stuttering like this. You can't really socialise at parties because you're so fucking high. And you always think, I'll do another one, that'll make me better. It doesn't, it just makes you worse. And it's just, yeah, the relationship I once had with drugs was just not the same relationship I was getting. And it's almost like that thing that says it's time to give up.
Right.
It's time to stop.
When was that for you? When was it really obvious?
I haven't touched cocaine now I remember the last time I touched it, I had such a bad experience and I went really dark place. And I just said, that's it. And that was, I'd say about 8 months ago.
Okay.
So it's pretty recent, but it was only on special occasions.
Right.
Like I once in a blue moon, I'd go on it, but that time, I'll never forget, I was just like, that's it.
Done.
And ever since, haven't touched it.
Wow.
And I don't even like getting too drunk anymore either.
Really?
But
why? Just because it doesn't feel good anymore?
Because I know that I don't like being drunk, because I don't like being there. So, when I do have too much, the cocaine sobers me up. So I know one thing leads to another, and then that leads to days off. So I enjoy a few drinks. And when I get to that point, I stop.
Gotcha.
And I went to Ibiza recently with my fiance, and that's exactly what I did. Went to Ibiza for the first time and come back with a fresh head.
How was that?
It was brilliant.
Right.
I was actually waking up and enjoying the days rather than being in a pickle. So on the last night we had a few more drinks than normal, but yeah, it was good.
And the endurance stuff you like because you can push yourself. You can really try to go somewhere. You've always been pushing yourself your whole life, right? Whether it's Dirty Sanchez or anything you do, you like pushing it a little to see where you can go, right?
I mean, that's the whole point of life, isn't it? For me, I think once I get into something, if I really enjoy something and I get into it, that's it. I love it. So I try and see how far I can take that, whatever it is. And yes, it's the same with everything I do, really. I just try and push it as far as possible. And I'm still with triathlon and endurance stuff. I'm still to this day pushing. And yeah.
The 30 half Ironmans in 30 days, like that got my attention because I did 1 half Ironman last year, and I spent 90 days training for it, and I got into the whole culture, and there is something beautiful about the training, I mean, it's the endorphins. I think there's a lot of personal work you're doing on yourself, like therapy. That's what I got. I mean, I was 20 Ks into a run and I'd have tears streaming down my face, like crazy stuff, processing old memories, and like, I don't know if you ever get that kind of stuff, but
yep.
I was getting a lot of that.
Yep, I sure do. I think it's the journey as much as actually doing the competition, because you set yourself a goal, you give your life a purpose. Like, I've signed up for this, now I need to train to get to that thing. And like you said, sometimes I get moments of, I get so high on endorphins in life that sometimes tears come through my eyes, tears of happiness. That happens quite a few times. And yeah, with the 30 half Ironmans in 30 days, I was amazing, man. It was ace. It's like it was tough, but it got to like day 5. I actually broke my rib on day 11, because it was windy, and I tried to put my foot into the clip on the pedal, and the wind blew me over, and I broke my bloody rib, and I was just like, nah. So I just had to keep going. And I'd say that after day 15, I just felt really comfortable. I started getting faster because my body sort of got used to what I was doing, and then, yeah, it was ace.
David Goggins says, like, if you tell your body what the new normal is, at first it resists, and then when it realizes that's no choice, it kind of gets with the program.
Yeah.
Do you find that's true with endurance?
No, that's completely true, yeah. And yeah, it's just your body won't give up. It's that if your mind, your body will keep going. As long as your mind tells it to keep going, it'll just keep going. And you've got to keep feeding it as well. Obviously, you've got to keep fueling it with the right foods and stuff, and you just keep going. And I think, yeah, when you train your body into doing something repetitively, your body gets used to it, and you just keep rocking. I find the worst thing when doing such long endurance events is when you stop, because every single day has been, you've got a routine every single day, and you've been getting legal highs, natural highs, sorry, every single day, endorphins, and all of a sudden, boom, stop. Then your body's, whoa. And I find you sort of slip into a little bit of a depressive state. So
when you stop training.
When you stop training, yeah.
Right.
So I know that now, so I sort of try and keep myself busy and active and doing things rather than sort of going into my shell and getting down.
Yeah. Yeah, I kept running after my Ironman. And then I went and ran a marathon like about 3 or 4 weeks after. Because I was like, I think I can do this. So I just went and ran one on my own. Because I had done like 23K to practice, and then I'd done like 30, and I was like 12K more, and I got the marathon. And so I just pushed it and tried it. But there's something beautiful about those long endurance pieces. But you kind of need a goal to push yourself to do the training, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going, the good thing about endurance is, for me anyway, is I can go into my mind for hours and hours on end, and I'm quite happy on my own, just in my own thoughts. After doing this Deca now, I had so much time in my own mind. It was, like you said earlier, it was therapy, just away from the outside world, and just you in your own mind with your own thoughts.
And where do you go?
Oh man, I go all over the place.
What's in the mind of Matthew Pritchard?
I don't really want to share it. It's just my stuff. There's a lot of people that keep me going. Whether it's people I don't like or whether it's people I do like, there's many things that just keeps me going, stops me from giving up, and I go into, again, sometimes I get so happy, I start, I cried a few times on the Deca on the run, and put music in my ears as well. That's another way of switching off, because I was in so much pain running. I was in pain literally from halfway through the swim. The pain started, and the pain did not ease until 10 days later, until I crossed the finish line, and it was just non-stop pain. It was just, paracetamols and stuff were barely touching the sides. And when I got to the run, I stuck my earphones on, and I put Motorhead on. That was the best paracetamol I think I ever had, because I completely forgot about my pain, and my head just went into this music. Next thing, I'm like fucking Mo Farah running around, because it was a 1.2 mile circle, and I was just overtaking my competitors, and they were just like, what the fuck is he on? Is he been taking drugs? But it was just, I just got into the music, and yeah, I paid the price when I stopped. I think I did about half a marathon, and then I was like, whoa, I was fucked. But it was enjoyable. It was nice.
Was it the same song over and over, or like an
No,
album?
it was Motorhead live at Wacken, I think it was. So yeah, it was good.
And so, well, first of all, like, why Ironman in the first place? What attracted you to that?
I did the Cardiff half marathon when I was 15, and then I decided to, after all the years of Sanchez and the partying and stuff, I decided to sort myself out, and I said, let's see if I can do the Cardiff half again. So I trained for that, loved it. Then I thought, well,
Is this the one where you were smoking crack the night before?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was one of them, yeah,
Okay.
to Cardiff half.
I think you told that story.
Yeah, I told that story, yeah. And it just,
But it shows your determination.
Yeah, it just escalated.
Yeah.
I really got into it. I found something which I enjoyed, which made me happy. So obviously the next step was Ironman, and my friend Butsy Butler, he sent me a video of Rick and Dick Hoyt, the disabled son, father, and he did an Ironman. He swam with him in a dinghy.
I've seen that.
Picked him out, put him onto a specially made bike, cycled with him, pushed him in a wheelchair for the run, and I was like, wow, this is it's amazing, and it inspired me. Then I just went, right, that's it. If he can do it, I can do it, and I signed up, and I did. That was Bolton, 2011, and as soon as I did that. No, full.
Full. First time was a full.
Full time was the first time was a full, yeah.
How was that?
Grueling, because it was the first time I'd done it. And it was,
12 hours, right?
Yeah, it was 13 and a half hours I finished it. Right. And I loved it. And I went back for more, and I never looked back. So I carried on, doing various things. I did the triathlon of Wales last year. Swam from Penarth to Porthcawl, which was like a 25 mile swim, and then cycled the circumference of Wales, and then ran down Offa's Dyke down to Cardiff. And just thinking about all these crazy things that I could just keep doing, and I love it.
It was epic, huh?
Yeah, it's good.
So I think Ironman started like in the late 60s in Hawaii, right? When they were like trying to find out who was the toughest. And they're like, okay, well, guess what? We're going to combine these three things and see if anyone even shows up, right? And then a few people actually did it, and then it grew and grew and grew. And I didn't know much about Ironman until last year when John Joseph came on the show, lead singer of the Cro-Mags, vegan for 30 some years, used to be a Hare Krishna monk. And he basically got in my face and said, Brian, come to New York City. And when I went to New York, he took me swimming, pushed me around in the pool like I would if I was in an Ironman race. And then he took me for a run on the Brooklyn Bridge. And then he had his Ironman trainer put me on a bike ride. And then he said, Brian, I'm doing a half in Chattanooga. Why don't you do this with me on a plant-based diet? So I did the whole thing. We made a movie about it called Ironmans. I went and faced some of my old addictive demons from 2001. I just told Matthew about my heroin addiction. In 2001, he almost fell off his chair.
You're the original Wolf of Wall Street. I didn't know that, and I just thought, Christ, go on, Mr. Rose.
Nobody knew that. Nobody knew that.
I'd like to hear some more stories.
It was during the training, so I was in New York City, and I was on a bike test, which is like a 6-minute, I think, max cardio test that his trainer did, and she had me pushing so hard. And my crew was filming me, and I started like tears coming out. I had all these flashbacks of all the bad shit I did in New York City, all the bad people I left down, how I almost died, blah, blah, blah. And it all came out. So it all came out for the movie. But it was really therapeutic, man, the whole thing. And I really fell in love with the training. I'd never swam distance. I'd never ran distance. I'd never cycled distance. And I was like, I really respected what was going on. And I learned that, endurance is a kind of a skill set in itself. And the stories you have to tell yourself, and just when you think you need to stop, if you just kind of keep going, you realize that passes, right?
It's a game of highs and lows, and 1 minute you're up there, next minute you're down there, and like you said, just keep going, they'll pass, and then you're back up there again.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Very much. So.
And a lot of people give in, and some just keep going.
There's some darkness in there, Matthew, that keeps you going, doesn't it? I mean, I know there's something in me and that everybody on that race, there's something deep down inside that's dark, right?
Yep. Doing the Deca, I went to some dark places. Everything was just hurting, my feet, my back, just everything. And it's so monotonous because you're going round in circles. You've seen the same lamppost, you've seen the same blade of grass, and you start talking to yourself and just anything to amuse yourself, just to keep going. Do
you choose the dark places to go, or you just go there?
Yeah, I think your mind just takes you there, doesn't it?
Does it take you places that maybe you don't know you want to go there, and it's like, okay, now it's time to go back to this thing that happened when I was 5 years old, and maybe let's have a conversation with my dead father, or like, is that the kind of stuff that happens?
I wouldn't say it gets that hardcore.
Okay.
I try and think of positive things in my head, and just nice things that make me happy. But then sometimes when the pain gets so bad, it's horrible.
What do you do when the pain gets so bad? Like, how do you stop from stopping?
You just keep trucking, and you really want to stop. And you just go, oh, fuck this. This is fucking stupid. It's just fucking, and you just go, this has got to stop. And then something in you just says, no, you can't stop. You've signed up for this. You've got to keep going. And you just keep going.
Who don't you want to let down? Yourself?
Myself.
But also, you don't want people to say, oh, you quit.
I'd say there's a bit of everything in there.
Okay.
You know, but personally, I don't want to let myself down.
Right.
I've set this goal in my head, and I want to finish it. And I know this is something I can do. There's a lot of things in life I don't feel very confident in doing, but I know I'm pretty confident at doing this kind of stuff. And for me, there's a lot of proving people wrong. You know, I'll prove to you I can do this.
Yeah.
I'll prove to myself I can do this.
Was that always a thing since you were a kid?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, without getting into all the sob story shit and everything, but a lot of people said that I would never make anything of myself. And I've been pretty open about that before. And, you know, I was never very academic in school, but I knew I could do. When I started getting into this, I thought, brilliant, I found something I can actually do. And that's another reason. I'll show you. I can do this. I won't give in. So, yeah, I'd say there's a little bit of that.
Who was doubting you? The kids in school or the teachers or parents? Or
Quite a few people.
everybody in Wales?
I wouldn't say everybody in Wales. No, everybody in Wales. People in Wales are cool, but when you're young, you just I don't want to get into all that soppy shit, but I was bullied and it just sort of makes you, that kind of stuff, it makes you the person that you are when you're older. And I think I'm constantly fighting to prove to people, look, I can do this. I'm not going to let myself down. I can fucking, Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you can tap into that in a good way.
Yeah.
And use it for something positive.
And to me, it's therapy as well. I love being on my own, doing that kind of stuff. That's why I don't really get on with the outside world. I hate it. I don't really like people. I know that's a horrible thing to say. Yeah, there's a very few people I really enjoy and enjoy their company in life. But I don't really like humans though. So for me to spend time just going up and down the swimming pool, going around the circles on the bike, running around circles on my feet, sort of in my own little prison, away from everybody. Amazing.
Perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
It's so strange for people to hear that a guy that is known, a lot of people know you as a performer, right? Well, from Dirty Sanchez, but even like the BBC, you write books, you have businesses, to know that you're so introverted.
Yeah, I mean, I've given out that thing that I'm a flamboyant in the past. That I'm this kind of flamboyant character, which is, it's just an act. I'm not really that kind of person. And my closest friends will know I'm not that kind of person. I really am, a quiet, shy person who likes to be on his own, really. And I think that's just sort of some kind of front that I put on just to, yeah.
But you must have enjoyed doing that.
I did enjoy doing it,
So it's an alter ego.
It's my alter ego,
so you can be that guy for a while, And it serves a purpose somewhere for you, must inside, or you wouldn't have kept doing it, right?
Yeah, do you know what I did? I really did enjoy being that flamboyant character. But as soon as I go back in my house, he's off.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
That guy's Pritchard is your
yeah,
crazy
Pritchard's
guy.
my alter ego, yeah. And
Okay.
I had fun with him. he was a good laugh. But in that, with Pritchard comes the drugs, the booze, because I can't be that person unless I've got the drugs and the booze. And
Is that true? You can't be him sober?
No, not really, no.
Okay. He's got to be.
I suppose I can a little bit, but it was more or less, those are the days when my party days, my flamboyant days. But now I'm just, they're gone. And yeah, I'm enjoying being Matthew, just quiet with me and my dog. It's great.
Nice and simple.
Simple. Simple life.
That's what you like.
Yeah.
Why don't you like humans?
Why don't I like humans?
Yeah.
Oh, they just get on my tits. They fuck me off. Apologise for the language, but I've been let down so many times, and I've been walked over. And again, I don't want to sound like fucking crybaby, but I have. I've been walked over so many times that I just don't trust anybody at all. And it's a real bit of a pain in the ass, really, because as soon as somebody comes into my life, I'm doubting them straight away. And that's what a horrible situation that is to be in. I don't feel comfortable with anybody until it takes a long while for them to prove themselves to me.
Like years.
Yeah. Like, you've got to earn, literally got to earn that, they've got to earn my trust. Because there's so many snakes out there. And I'm so nice, I'm so much of a nice person. I just let so many people in. And yeah, and they see people take, what's the word? They take my niceness as
Kindness is weakness.
Yes, my kindness is weakness. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's very few people in my life that I trust. Like, there's my fiance, my family, my fiance.
It's also hard to do when you're kind of famous, right? Because then people want to be around you for that kind of energy.
Yeah, but I've learned.
Harder.
From the Sanchez days, there was a lot of people, but blah blah blah. With the dirty vegan stuff now and all that's starting to kick off, I still just keep myself to myself. I don't really try not to let anyone in that I don't know. But I've got my friends, one or two of my friends are really close to me, and they'll tell me that person. My fiance will tell me, watch that person. They can smell him a mile off.
Okay, because you can't.
Yeah, because I can't. Yeah. But they can. So
Right.
it's as soon as they tell me, I'll know, and then they sort of give me that warning. Be careful.
Okay. Well, that's reality, right?
It is reality, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just then shit happens, and that's just the way it is.
All right, let's talk about this Deca, and
Yeah.
then I want to talk about a few other things. So, you decided to do the 30 halves in 30 days a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
And that was because regular Ironmans weren't enough for you, and you wanted to see if you could push it harder.
Yeah.
Okay. And I did a half after I trained 90 days for that, and it was, an ordeal. I'm just thinking, I got to wake up the next day and do that again and again and again. What was it like, besides breaking your rib?
I really enjoyed it. It was, again, it was great. I was doing something I really enjoyed. We had a routine going. I'd wake up at 4, jump in the pool. I'd eat properly, jump in the pool at 6, do my 1.5 mile swim, get out, put my bike stuff on, do the 57-mile bike ride. We did it in conjunction with an estate agent called Peter Allen. So they've got like about 30 estate agents all over Wales. So the bike ride then took me to a different estate agent every day. So I'd cycle to that estate agent after doing 57 miles. I'd get changed into my running gear. I'd do a half a marathon, finish there. Luckily, I had Agile Therapy. They sponsored me, so I'd go and have a massage off them, iron me out. The local vegan restaurant, Ana Luca, which is not far from my house, they sponsored me as well, so I'd go in there. Then I'd go in and see them. They'd feed me, and I'd go home, and I'd go to sleep. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, and repeat. And it worked really well. It was tough, but yeah, it was good. I was just, soon after day 15, when I started, my body sort of started getting used to it. It was good, man.
Your times got faster.
Yeah, a lot of people kept saying, whoa, slow down, you get injured. I just, I can't help myself. Just started going a little bit
Do you
faster.
like it because for 30 days, basically your mind doesn't really have to go do anything because you're just so fixated, I gotta do this. I mean, there must be something nice about that, right? Simple.
My fiance always says you need a routine, because if I haven't got a routine in life, I'm like, everywhere.
It stresses you out, right? Or
Yeah.
your mind wanders or problems happen when you don't have a routine.
Yeah, right. And I had a routine for 30 days. So it was simple. I woke up, did this, that, that, tick, again, tick, again. So it was, yeah.
Perfect.
It was perfect for me. So
And the broken rib didn't stop you from swimming and all that stuff?
it hurt, but you just keep going, don't you?
Okay. To someone who's listening right now who says, I could never do an Ironman. I hear this from people all the time. I can't swim. That's one I hear all the time. And I always hear this and I'm always thinking, you know what? I think anybody could do a half Ironman if they just decide they want to do it. I really think they could. Maybe with 6 months of training. Anybody, but I think most people could. What do you say to people?
You can do anything. Anybody out there can do anything, but you need to want to do it. If you don't want to do something, you're not going to do it. It's as simple as that. But people say to me, "Oh, I could never do an Ironman." So you can. We can all do it. You know, it's all in there. Like if you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. But you know, if anyone out there is wanting to do a half an Ironman, or even just a sprint distance triathlon or Olympic triathlon or anything, honestly, go out there and give it a go. You're not going to regret it. Just the journey itself to the event of training, going out, going cycling, going swimming, going running, and and eating healthily, see the difference in your life. See the difference in your life completely change, rather than sitting on the sofa and watching mindless, numbing TV. Just, you know, there's nothing wrong with sitting on TV, sitting down on the sofa. Once you've done a lot of work.
Once you've done a half Ironman that day,
it's a
then
treat.
you can.
You know, once you've done something, it's a treat. Sit down, chill out.
Earn it.
But, you know, there's, and then I'm not having to go at anyone out there, but there's, you know, a lot of people just waste their lives, just sat down watching mind-numbing TV. Set yourself a goal, go out, do it, and honestly, just see how mentally and physically better you're going to feel by fitness. And I do believe fitness is the answer to a lot of problems. Depression, mental health, health in general. It's just, I can't stress enough how good fitness and healthy eating is good for us.
Yeah, so often people just kind of say, yeah, because I guess it's a physical thing. We don't think it would really help you mentally. But like I had a lot of guys in that chair who suffer from like serious depression, and they all have now a physical practice, you know, from Frank Bruno to Eddie Hall, World's Strongest Man. All these people had major bouts of depression. And now it's the physicality every day that like keeps them straight, you know?
Yeah, I think people like Frank Bruno, you know, and a lot of sportsmen, they've been in that. They were at the height of their game. And that's what they did every single day. And then all of a sudden their careers end, and it's like, whoa. You know, that's a big pill to chew, that is. Because they had it all, and I think that's where the mental health comes from. I think people like Gaza and stuff, you know, they loved that life, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And I think by keeping training and keeping on top of things, I think that's just my I may be wrong.
No, I think you
right,
have something to it.
Yeah, just keep training, keep that brain ticking, keep doing something. Because as soon as you sit in your ass and just forget about, yeah.
I think a lot of professional athletes, they think, oh, that was my job. So then when they stop, they're like, I don't do that anymore. So you see the, fighters like, Jake LaMotta, they get, massive, but they don't think, wait a second, that was my job, but that was also the reason I stayed grounded and happy and all that. And they separated that from who they are. So they got to get back into it. When I was training for Ironman, man, I learned so much about myself, but man, I just felt better all the time because I was pushing myself every day. My appetite was good. I was going through these long runs. I was processing stuff. And, I had Dave Goggins on here the other day. And the next day I went for a half marathon because I was just like, I hadn't done one in like 6 months. And of course, the whole time I'm listening to his book in my ear, so I can't quit because obviously Goggins can't hurt me. But afterwards, I was like so calm and I forgot how good I used to feel after a long session. Like after you bust out the half marathon, man, you ain't got no problems for an hour. You're exhausted. You process stuff. It's like one of the calmest feelings you can have.
And how easy is it to go out for a run? Literally, all you have to do is put your trainers on, open the door, and just go for a run. That's how easy it is. Doesn't have to be a half marathon, doesn't have to be a full marathon. Maybe just 5 miles, 2 miles, whatever your ability is, and come back feeling so much better than what you were when you sat down. It's true though, isn't it?
It's true. It's so true. It's so simple.
And it's just, yeah. And like you said, you can process things in your head. And some of my best ideas come from when I go running. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Great.
Yeah. And you said anybody can do it, and all you have to do is not quit. That's the only thing these people do. They just don't quit. It's almost that simple. It's just like you just choose, you don't quit, and you keep going. You can slow down, whatever, but you just don't quit.
Yeah, I mean, if you need to walk for a bit, and then start running.
All right, so you did the 30 in 30 days, 30 halves in 30 days, which is amazing. Talk to me about this Deca, because that's pretty intense. I mean, I've heard about like Rich Roll doing 5 Ironmans in 5 days in 5 Hawaiian Islands. That was something he did years ago. But like, what's this all about?
It's, I remember years ago, my brother, because my brother does all this kind of stuff for me as well. And he said, oh, there's an event called the Deca. And I said, what's that? He said, oh, it's 10 Ironman in 10 days. I went, and this is back in when I first started doing it. I thought, Jesus, fuck that. But then now, actually, 8 years on, Claire from Brutal Events, she does all like doubles, triples. She does really good events, like sort of events, look out the box kind of events. And she put on a Deca a few years ago, and she put on another one up in York. And there was the Continuous, which is the 24-mile swim in one, 1,120-mile bike ride in one, and then the 262-mile run in one. And then there was the other format, which is an Ironman a day for 10 days. So I decided to go for the Continuous. And, it's a big ask. And I hadn't really trained for it because I was so busy with the Dirty Vegan stuff and everything else that was going on in my life. I was a bit dubious of whether I could complete it, and I thought, sod it, I'm going to go. I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't do it because I haven't done the training, but let's just go in and see how we get on. And there was 11 people in the Continuous. They were from all over the world. There was like there was a Dane in there. There was an Indian, American, somebody from France. There was a mixture of us, and we went to the pool, and it was a 25-meter pool, and I had a wetsuit. I chose to wear a wetsuit. It was really warm in there, and 24-mile swim. So we just up and down until we did that 1,520 laps, I think it was.
1,520 laps.
Yeah, just.
And all of you were in there doing it?
Yeah, we were all in there, yeah. All in different lanes. Just push, and I just thought, oh man, I got halfway, and I thought, fuck, there's a long way to go, and my shoulders, I did have a dodgy shoulder at the time as well, and my shoulders are aching, and I was getting really hot. They were tipping cold water down my top.
Right.
And And as soon as I saw 2 laps left, I got plunked into the water. I was just like, yes. And I finished the swim. And I thought, right, that's that out of the way. And of course, at the same time, when you're in there for so long, you've got to get out to go for the shit. You can't shit in the pool. And I got out, my face was burned. And I had chlorine burns all over my face because I'd been in there for so long.
For 14 hours.
14 hours and 45 minutes. And then got out then, got changed, got into my bike stuff and started my mission to do the 1,120 mile bike. And that was 8 mile loops. So you'd go over the timing mat at HQ and you'd go out, you do an 8 mile loop, come back, eat over the timing mat, back out. So you did that. How it worked out, I was on the saddle for 20 to 21 hours a day and feeding as I come back into the thing. And then I'd have 3 to 4 hours sleep in my camper van, wake up, back on the bike, repeat. And that was for 4 to 5 days.
How do you function on that little sleep?
I don't know, but...
This sounds worse than an Ironman every day. It was. How do you swim for 14 hours? Like, seriously, what's going on in your brain? I mean, are you just a fish at that point? That's crazy.
I got this ability to daydream and switch off. And my teacher said in school that he needs to learn how to stop daydreaming. So I thought I'm putting it to good use now, and but we were lucky because we had good weather, but it was also the hottest day. One of the days was the hottest day Britain has ever seen. And so I couldn't pedal too hard because I didn't want to get sunstroke. And at the same time, my undercarriage was ruined. I mean, when I say ruined, all the skin had come off. It was red raw. It was just a mess. So I had to try and keep that my hygiene had to be, because I didn't want to get infected down there.
Right.
So as soon as I finished the night, I antiseptic Sudocreme, wake up, do the same thing again, and just keep on top of it. And as soon as I finished the bike, I had a haze over my eyes, and I was seeing double, and I thought, fuck, I'm losing it here. And the medic called me in. He did blood tests and stuff, and I did all the tests that I needed done. He said, oh, you're fine. And I started getting the feverish, hot and cold sweats. So I sort of listened to my body, and went to have my first proper sleep before starting the run. And then I woke up then and started the run, the 262 mile run, which was in 1.2 mile loops around the lake. And a lot of people said, you've got it. You've done the swim, you've done the bike, it's in the bag now, you can just walk the rest. I was just like, fuck, this is where the Deca starts. You know, running 262 miles is a long way. And my aim was to do...
10 marathons.
10 marathons, yeah. So my aim was to do 2 marathons a day, and anything extra was a bonus. And I sort of stuck to that. And I did listen to my body. I said to myself, my body, I'll go to sleep and then start again. So I kept to that rule. And then one day I woke up at 12, I could see I didn't go to compete, I went to complete because I didn't really train. So I was quite happy with where I was. And then one day I went to bed at 9, woke up at 12 a.m. And I just put my head torch on, just went running, headphones on, music, I'm fucking gone. I did 20 miles before 4:30 in the morning, power nap, got up, another full marathon, power nap. I think I did about 70 miles in one day. And then I got quite far up towards, I think it might have been about 3rd place. And then next day I was fucked. Because I'd done 70 miles. But it was sort of like run, walk, run, walk, run, walk.
That was the hardest part.
Yeah, I just couldn't wait. It was hard work, man.
You just had enough at that point.
Yeah.
How do you stop from going crazy and like telling yourself I'm gonna stop? Or are you even thinking straight the last 2 days? Of that run? I mean... I knew I was coming in to see you. I knew I was coming in to see you, and I was just all these things going, what am I going to tell Brian now when I come in? I have all these things in my head, they've all gone blank. But it was just,
my back was just in constant agony. My feet, the soles of my feet, I had blisters on the soles of my feet. Nowhere near as bad as some of the contestants. The feet were in ruins. But every time I woke up, I couldn't walk. I literally could not walk on my soles. So it took me about 1 or 2 laps before I could sort of get into some kind of motion. And then I could smell the finish then. Because I think I had like half a marathon left to go, and I knew I wasn't going to bed. This was my last day.
Right.
And that feeling was amazing. But the closer you got to the finish, the longer it just got to get there, because I knew I could smell the finish, but it was so far away. And my brother was there, and he's going, "Come on, you've only got half a marathon left to go. You can do it. You can do it." And I was so fucked. And he says, "Pick yourself up, come on." And then the last lap, then you do it in reverse. So you get to see all the other contestants, give them high fives and a hug and everything. And that's when everything started to get quite emotional. And, you know, we've all been, every single person dug deep to try and get to that finish line. And there was 4 DNFs, and it was just nice passing everyone and just giving everyone high fives and trying to stop myself from crying. It was weird, man. It was hard. Yeah. I mean, I feel quite emotional now talking about it.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.